All right, cool. So we're live. Hey, everyone. It's May 13th. Welcome to our weekly community call. The agenda for this week, I'm just going to share my screen. I thought I'm going to start doing these more casually because it's a little less work for me. And so I started publishing these weekly calls. So you can see the agenda for every week we've had calls for. And then I posted the link to this in the governance forum. So anyone can come in here and see the agenda items. And yeah, I have editing rights, but feel free to comment or anything like that. So I'm just gonna admit some people. 1 second. There we go. Alex is here, right on time. So yeah, so first up, is Alex here yet? Hey, Alex.
Hey guys.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. You're first up on the agenda, so you came just in time. Do you want to give any updates on the Rarible.com side, any product updates on the protocol, anything like that?
Okay, yeah, we don't have much. So I think our main focus on the Rarible.com is to finally switch to the protocol. And it's a long process. The protocol now had several features of the marketplace. So we have the lazy minting, collaborators, and other stuff on the protocol side. And marketplace is dying hard to adopt all of that. So there is mostly a lot of underhood infrastructural changes because we need to change like the data model and other stuff, but it's all internal like upgrades to be able to support our layer 2 solution better and everything that comes on the protocol side. So I think on the protocol level, we've updated our biggest priorities right now are to make the documentation to be auto-generated. Right? So far, we've been writing API reference by ourselves, and now we're doing this for the basically every developer would write the short doc for the exact call, and that would be all combined together in one single API reference file that you have access to. We've added Ropsten calls, API calls to our API reference, and let me check if we did order that or not. Encode controller. Yeah. I think we've added encode order call for the encode controller. So you can actually try to receive the JavaScript encoded file ready for the client-side signature. I need to check back with the team, but that might be it. So like that's what we've learned interacting with the teams, that it's really hard to go back and forth several times. You need to go to ping the server and then get back to the client, sign something, restructure the signed message and go to the server. That's why we're coming up with 2 calls that would allow you to, just 2 call helpers that would allow you to encode the order structure and encode the NFT structure to be signed by the creator or to be signed by the seller. So I think that can be helpful. I need to check back on the progress, but that's definitely marked as done on our end, and probably we need to add that to the documentation. Yep, that's most of the updates. Let me check on our side. So yeah, we've been a little bit anxious about finally adopting the protocol on the marketplace. That's our biggest priority now. Working really hard on it. Just a second, let me check what's are the. Yep, we're also doing extensive end-to-end testing of our protocol, and I think we would open source that tests so that you would be able also to use that as a way of documentation, just because there is everything from order creation, smart contract deployment, like NFTs, minting, selling, and such. So yeah, that's most of on our side. Thank you guys for being here today.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. Next up, we have some project updates. I guess we can start with Coco NFT.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. So Reed here from the Coco NFT team. Things are going pretty well for us. I think someone in the community asked me for a bit of an update in the actual Rarible DAO discussions channel. So anybody can see kind of my little written up one there. I also provided a link to our Discord community, which we're just starting now. So yeah, probably biggest updates for anybody that is not familiar. Our original proposal was under the name My Musée, which was a play on the French word for museum, but unfortunately, a lot of people in North America pronounced it My Muzzy, which was just not a name we were going to launch with. So we rebranded to Coco NFT. So just to be clear on which project we are. And yeah, since we got the Rarible grant, I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and we hired right away a front-end developer to help us kind of speed along. We have the front end of our site now working as we expect it to, and we're now doing the parts where in the meanwhile, other two founders have been working on more of the backend components. So working with the Instagram API and pulling everything in, as well as connecting things like we're looking to use Taurus as a kind of like social sign-in wallet provider for users who are new. And of course, the actual lazy minting protocol with Rarible. So we've been working really closely with their team to make sure that everything is working as expected, which is exciting. I'd say we're hoping to start to get some beta testers in the next 1 to 2 weeks, which is really exciting for us. So we are looking to start working with some people in the community at that point to test this thing out, see if it works, how you like it, feedback on the experience, all of those types of things would certainly be welcome. And as you heard from Alex, where Rarible's lazy minting protocol is coming or launching soon, so we're hoping to start testing shortly after that. That's about it for the updates. I'm thinking, yeah, we'll just start to love to get people's feedback on what the experience looks like. I think at some point in the Discord, I'll probably include a little demo video of what things are looking like now on the front end and how we're thinking about that. So if anybody has feedback and stuff, we can start iterating on that. I'll drop a little Discord actually in the chat here for anybody, but it's in the DAO discussion group as well.
You have designs going for it?
Yes, yeah. So we have basically the front end in terms of how the website will like look and feel and interact is for the most part done. What's being done now is kind of more just piping it into the actual API components from Instagram we have going now, making sure the sign up works properly, and of course once the lazy minting protocol is on Rarible.com, making sure that works properly. So yeah, I think maybe shortly for those who join the Discord, maybe tonight I'll drop in a little video of what things look like on the actual kind of experience for it. So we can start to get some feedback and everything there. Awesome. I will say as well, probably other thing we're looking for from members of the community is just thoughts overall, like what our goal is to work for people who are not familiar with NFTs, creators, artists who are trying to get into the space and thinking about what to do. So any tough questions that or problems that people like that typically get into, or what thoughts on how we can make that easier, certainly open to it. We're starting to work with a writer to help us get some content as well that we can launch with. That kind of explains the process. We've been, engaging with people on Twitter who are trying to get into it and sending them over to Rarible. But yeah, we hope to be able to produce some helpful things as well there. Cool.
Yeah, super cool. Thanks, Reed. Any questions from anyone, or anyone want to test this or anything?
No, I just messaged him. I think definitely Creator Collective artists could help with beta testing or I definitely have a lot of those newbies that you could ask, or I could tell you about questions they have.
That would be great. Yeah, let's. I'll connect with you directly to work on that.
Yeah, and I'm also, I mean, I'm not a huge Instagram person, but I have an account. I'd be happy to test as well. So just, I'm sure you'll get a flood of testers if you start promoting it.
Yep, that's the hope. And yeah, probably last thing I'll say is we also learned we're also probably fast follow-up for us in terms of the source. There's been a lot of big questions. We are looking to support TikTok as the next step there. And they do have an API that should allow us to do it through authentication. We're always trying to do things with proper authentication with the original source, just so we can maintain authenticity and verify all of that. So yeah,
that's actually super exciting. I heard crypto TikTok is bigger than crypto Twitter, so that could be really sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where we're at.
Have you? Yeah. Sorry, one small question. Have you came up with the wallet solution? So you're like, you actually need to connect the wallet and sign the minting messages, all of that. Which wallets have you decided to go with?
To start, we're looking to use Taurus's custom auth solution, particularly because it allows us to create wallets for users and log in with users tied to the social ID. So like we can support sign up via Facebook and sign up via Google. That gets attached to a wallet ID there. So that's what we're using as kind of the first solution, and then after that we'd be looking to like open it up to existing wallets and other solutions for that.
Yeah. Don't they support Instagram login?
No, Instagram you can't actually be used as a login source. In case you, yeah, that's one of the things that'll get you shut down by Facebook.
Yeah, against their terms of service. So yeah, there is another product out there that's very similar to ours right now that they're trying to do something similar, but they're violating all of Instagram's terms of service, Facebook's terms of service, called Instamint. So
yeah,
that'll quickly get you shut down.
What was the name of that service that you use? Taurus something?
Taurus custom auth. You ran into that issue. Yeah, someone else ran into a similar issue. But yeah, it's so yeah, Taurus custom auth used to be called direct auth. They recently rebranded it, so some of the documentation you might see might call it direct auth. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different tools out there doing cool stuff. But yeah, so Taurus is what we're looking at to make that step particularly simple.
Yeah, I just looked over this Instamint, and you're like there is a way to connect your Instagram there.
Yes, yeah, you can technically do it. It's just not one of the things that is permissible. So when it comes down to like, if it starts to gain traction and gets attention from Facebook, if you go through like Instagram's documentation there, you'll see they state Instagram cannot be used as a login mechanism.
Oh, right. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So that's why.
Very cool. Thanks, guys. All right, up next, we have Mystery Drop, but I don't think Isaac is here. So he did share a video, which I can share. I don't think it has any audio, and it's pretty low resolution. So can you guys see this? So Mystery Drop, if you guys recall, they got a grant as well. The idea was to be able to mint NFTs and then have either a pack of NFTs or a single NFT, and have the image that's displayed for the NFT be something else. So you have like some random image, maybe it's a prize or a question mark, and then only when you buy it, the image gets revealed to the buyer. So let's just see this video. I looked at it earlier. There's no sound, but so here it looks like he's creating a collection. This is the preview image for the NFT. Name, description. And then this is the actual artwork that they're going to buy. which they don't know they're buying. So here they do the drop, the price. And here, I think he's minting, but I can't even read the font because it's too small. So let's see. Right, and then let's see. So this is the drop on the storefront. This is what you see as a user, the placeholder image, and then only once you purchase it would you get the actual NFT. So that was the demo. He wasn't able to make it today, but he recorded that for us. I can't answer any questions about it, so I guess that's all. But I'm curious, Alex, like on your end, is this something that we could implement on Rarible.com? And is this something that people would want? I'm curious to hear the
We've
feedback.
got the requests for the packs and randomized drops. Here, as I believe, the only problem is that they all get revealed in the same time.
I see.
I'm not sure if there is this randomization technique implemented or something like that. So
Yeah, I think it is random.
it's random. Yeah, ultimately it feels like something like chain link VRF needs to be used here to make it like fully random on chain. You've got an NFT as soon as it gets transferred, for example, or as soon as it gets bought, then it's revealed. So yeah, we thought about implementing that on Rarible.com. That's somewhat down the road. It would be nice to have a pluggable version. I'm trying to imagine what would be the right way to plug that in. For example, if that was transferred by the marketplace contract, it gets revealed. And this can be done like on chain inside the, because as I believe on the hackathon, the team presented the idea that it gets randomized off chain. So we only switch the IPFS link to the new item. And
yeah, well, we can continue that discussion with Isaac once he has the product finished and see how to integrate it.
Hey, sorry, yeah, okay. I can fill you in a little bit. Sorry, I just saw you. I was loading it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're doing was with the IPFS in the hackathon, we used the NFT X to kind of buy into one-to-one with a token for an NFT, and then you could buy the token, then swap it for a random one in the pack. Now what we're doing, since the user doesn't really know what the image is going to be anyways, we thought that it didn't really need to be randomized which NFT they would get. So they would just buy the NFT, and then after that point, when the artist decides, they can reveal that IPFS image, and it will be put up to the to IPFS and pinned there. So it is random in that the user, when they buy it, they don't know what it will be, but they know that they are buying that ERC 721.
Okay, so it's totally secret drop for them, and the artist then decides what there will be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I've been talking about is more like a pack drop, when you don't know what exactly do you get, but you know that it's one of 5 items with different rarity in different percentages, but it probably is just another story.
Okay, yeah.
I guess it's a bit different than what you're doing.
If that's a completely secret drop, then yeah, that works.
All right. moving on then. I know, Nick, I don't know if you're interested in giving an update, but I know that you shared some designs. Do you feel like flashing those, or do you want to wait on that?
I'll probably wait till next week. We're doing some further iterations and have some exciting stuff for next week.
Okay, great. Yeah, Nick shared some designs on the rental and how it will
An
be.
exciting update, I suppose, those we did just hire a full-time front ender though, so our iteration has 10x.
All right.
We're super
Yeah.
stoked about that.
Congrats. Okay, next up, there's me actually. So, I mean, I got funded by the DAO, and I thought I would give an update on what I'm doing just to be fully transparent. So let's see. So I'm juggling all sorts of different things. Yeah, one of the areas is hiring and recruiting, finding more people to participate in the DAO, join the DAO, work for the DAO. Right now, it's mainly just myself full time, and so it's a lot, and you know, looking to basically grow the ecosystem and the team. Proposal tracking, so I can just show like, you know, this is what I work on behind the scenes. So these are, you know, this is my CRM with all the leads that I'm tracking, and, you know, at different stages of conversation. Some of these proposals are in the drafting stages, some of them are being reviewed. So I spend a lot of time just tracking all of our leads and the different stages they're at, and making sure that they're getting passed through the funnel, because there's quite a bit there. And then DAO operations. So, you know, obviously there's like the whole community aspect of this, and just managing the Discord and the communication and making sure we're making progress on the proposals. And, you know, also involved with that is like the tokenomics and like the legal challenges that we're facing in regards to updating our tokenomics and all that. So those are kind of like the big areas that I've been focusing on. I thought it'd be good to just provide an update there, just so that it's transparent and, you know, people kind of know as a DAO member what I've been working on. So that's kind of all. Any questions or anything? Okay, cool. Masha, do you want to give an update on your side? I know that you had some things. Oh, and Maggie, we have maybe Maggie. Do you want to ask a question? Is this around the verification? I think I saw you post about that. You can unmute yourself. Oh, I see a yes. Yeah. So.
Oh, I think this is a question for us if I'm following correctly.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, maybe just to clarify, we're using Taurus as the like wallet and signing provider, not a social network for that. It's just that Taurus has the ability to kind of create your wallet through a social sign-up option. If you want to check it out, like Rarible supports Taurus on the platform. It's one of like the main wallet providers you can do, and you do choose to connect wallets. So you can kind of go through that experience if you want to kind of see what that would look like in terms of transactions and everything like that.
Very cool. And feel free to ping Reed asynchronously if you're in the Discord. You should be able to find the Coco NFT team. Masha, you want to go for it?
Yeah, hi everybody. Yeah, I think today I don't really want to give an update, but rather ask for feedback, and specifically regarding the featured section. So I'm curious about is just to hear different opinions. Like, how do you, when you go to the marketplace, how do you react to the featured section? Like, what do you pay attention to, and how like you would maybe prefer the content to be displayed there. So just just to give, to get the general sentiment around this.
Maybe we can flash up the home screen just to get people's juices flowing. Maybe I can share the screen here. So are you asking specifically for these main areas, or like everything in general, or?
Yeah, I think mainly like the top 5 squares, like just interesting to see to learn how do you guys react to those? Do you like click on them? How do you like generally, what's your sentiment towards the content, and how you would probably prefer to see this discovery on the marketplace through the featured section? So yeah, I would love to hear thoughts on this, just like personal opinions.
I'd also be curious to know, I mean, we have like a pretty solid group of developers on the call. I'd be curious to know if there's anyone here who's actually a collector and who's like buying NFTs. Because maybe we're asking the wrong group, but curious to know like how many of you out there are like actively buying NFTs, or in the last like month.
Yeah, Pips here. I've been buying a lot.
All right, Pips has been buying.
I've been buying a few.
And so what are your thoughts, Pips and Natalie?
Go ahead, Natalie.
Oh no, I personally, I think it's a really cool way to learn about different projects. It's kind of like my go-to area. I go there and just check out what's going on, what's being featured, just to see what that project's about. So is it that you guys are not getting the engagement you want, or why are you wanting to know?
Yeah, I think generally for us, like as as a decentralized marketplace, it's important to understand like how people react, because I think like in social media, like some people have been expressing that like some maybe wider discovery or some more like clear mechanisms for artists to be featured. So I know that like we have like pretty wide feedback on that, and it's obviously like a huge instrument for discovery of content on the marketplace. So yeah, I'm asking really from more like research perspective, basically.
Yeah, I mean, at least from my experience with Creator Collective, a lot of them do look there and would like to be featured on there and think it's a really cool thing. And just maybe if there was an opportunity for how to submit their stuff to be featured, is that anywhere, or is it something I've missed? Or how do you guys choose who's featured?
Yeah, I think it's right now there is no like option to submit, so it's rather like team picking like picking different use cases, highlighting use cases, some interesting applications for NFTs or some projects that have been getting traction. So like, and that's just a move to facilitate this type of content. But I think like ultimately the goal is to make it more community based, so to give the community the decision, because I think right now like this kind of curation mechanism for like given to the community is like partly implemented through like live auctions and like hot bids section, hot collections. So this is like something that is already in demand and speeding up actively. But yeah, I think it's probably one of the directions for us to think like how this can be implemented for a wider range of artists to get exposure.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess maybe we need to survey, like, figure out who the actual buyers are and see like what kind of content they would like, because it feels like we have a pretty small sample of like buyers. Too many devs.
I personally, I kind of, for no real reason though, kind of ignore them and just go to the Explorer section. And I've purchased like quite a few from the Explorer and found like new artists I like, including even one this week. So I don't know. I don't know that that helps, but yeah, I almost just kind of tend to like get right into looking at new stuff like right away. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually an interesting observation, interesting opinion.
If I can add, I wonder what it would look like if the featured section would be a little larger instead of like a tile, maybe a bigger image that is sort of like a carousel where it's sort of just like, you know, swipes by itself. I think just aesthetically, that might be something that would grab you if it's something that we're actually featuring. So maybe one thing to consider.
Make it easier on mobile.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think we're actually it's in the making that we will make it like bigger and rotating. So we also have like more space for exposure. So yeah, that's in the works.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea if maybe you send out on like on your newsletter a survey to the artists just to see what they think. I'm sure you'll get a lot of interesting feedback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we'll probably do that. Yeah, it's just very interesting to hear different opinions on the matter.
Well, I think the mobile, it's so small. It could be bigger. I think it should be one tile per screen, I think. But it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But somebody mentioned mobile there, and I went right away there. And yeah, on desktop it looks great, but on mobile I think it's a little bit smaller and too small.
And you wouldn't think to scroll over, like I know too, but like initially, you know, to keep kind of going through versus a toggle there that indicates to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that it on the topic? Anything else? All right, so a few more things here. I'll just keep sharing my screen. Wait, can you guys see? I feel like I'm not. Here we go. Screen. Oh, this is why. All right, so we have one proposal that's up. A proposal to swap some Rari for Dai. The main reasons for this is that we're paying people and we're requesting people to pay in stablecoin, but our treasury is in Rari, so it would make sense to rebalance things a little bit so that we can pay people in a more stable currency. I know myself personally, I got paid in Rari and I didn't swap it for Dai, and then I had like you know, some losses there, so it was like frustrating. But yeah, I mean the counter argument and the other thing that people mentioned in the Discord is that maybe we should wait until, you know, the price is a little bit down now. So they're saying, well, let's just wait to make this transaction until the price recovers a bit, which I think is a valid point. So feel free to vote on this. That's live. We have a few proposals that are in the pipeline at different stages. There's the DAO House integration to allow a DAO to buy, manage NFTs as a collective. So that should be posted on the forum very soon. We have RR2 phase 3, which this one has been a bit held up, but Alex, is the status with this one that you gotta you have to speak to Alexi about it and just make sure we're good to go?
Yeah, so I think this is one of the most important proposals out there on what should the actual distribution of the funds be, and we just wanted to double check that everything is in line with the team thinking, because well, that would obviously have a huge effect on what's happening here. So and that's why we decided to make another roundabout with every like major advisor that we have, to talk to investors, to really try to think about second order of effects for this, changing from liquidity mining to up mining, and increasing the Rarible DAO share, as well as introducing the staking reward. It's all like really important consequences. So staking is in development now. Yeah, that was another update. It's actually like a masterpiece of code. I believe as soon as we finish that, we would use some help from the community to try to describe all of that for the other projects to use our staking model, because I don't think there is something great like that on the market yet. Yeah, so staking, I believe, should be finished next week, the contract, and that's why I think this phase 3 isn't like held too much to be in actual effect, because there still will be like some time to technically implement that.
All right, so phase 3, we're waiting a bit, and also figuring out if everything is good to go there. And then Alex sort of mentioned the updates to the Rarible token distribution. There's been a lot of discussion in the community around changing the reward structure. We have been talking internally. A lot of these discussions happened when Alex was on vacation. So, you know, he's getting caught up, and, you know, talking to some advisors, making sure everything is good to go. And then also, you know, like, just for the sake of transparency, there are like legal, you know, repercussions to doing some of these things. So we have to make sure that we're okay on that front as well. So, you know, we're making progress as fast as we can, and, you know, the idea is to submit this proposal once those boxes are checked off. There's one more proposal here. I had this idea late at night, and I was like, oh, we should just have a recruitment prize for people to find projects and apps to build on. So sort of like decentralizing the sales process, where we just have like a static prize. Anybody can come bring a project, and if the project adopts the protocol, they get a reward. It's kind of a neat idea. The main challenge with this is that we need some sort of like structure or process to make it very clear to everyone and set expectations. So this is what I tried to do. You know, at a high level, the idea is to have a fixed prize amount. So I just chose, you know, $2,500, and then have some conditions. So I'll just run through these. So the prize is available to anyone who brings a team or a project that eventually builds on the protocol and integrates with the protocol. So the prize can be for apps or features such as SDK or anything else like that. The prize is payable upon the product or integration being deployed. Me as an individual, I'll keep track of the projects. I'll just take on that responsibility. If there's someone who comes with a project that's already in our pipeline, you know, obviously it won't count, because there needs to be, you know, someone to keep track of all the projects and make sure that there's no duplicates, and prizes are distributed out to teams who've already been introduced. Yeah, ideally, you know, this person helps the project, and they start building, and they're not even talking to the Rarible team. So it's not like an introduction. It's actually just like, you know, taking all the work of like onboarding them and making sure that they can actually build, as opposed to just, hey, speak to this project, because that's not super helpful. It just puts on all the work to someone else. Let's see. Yeah, in order to do this effectively, though, I think that we need people to understand like all the value propositions of the protocol and like all the like basically we need people who can sell effectively. So my thinking was that maybe I could put together some material and like help people understand the value proposition, and have like a little course that people have to pass in order to be able to do this and claim the prizes. So that's like a high level. Just curious to know like what people's thoughts are on this. Obviously it can't be gamed, and like we don't want people to. We want people to actually provide value in order to get paid. So yeah, curious to hear people's thoughts on if something like this would work or any concerns.
I think that it's a really good idea to incentivize more people to build on the protocol. I do also think that it may be difficult to as you scale and as more people build on the protocol to like do this on a individual basis, like just kind of looking through it. So that might be something you want to like maybe do programmatically at some point, where like based on certain usage of API calls for a certain like registered partner, they are able to receive like a certain amount in Rari, because since Rari, you'd be able to, it's programmatic, programmable money. That's like one of the big advantages. So, but how the details on how that would be done obviously need to be scoped out better. But I guess just initial thoughts.
Yeah, I like that idea. That would probably be like V2, V3. But yeah, that sounds good. I mean, we could probably even have like a name for people who have gone through a little bit of the training and enrolled in this and are actively doing this, the Rarible recruiters or something like that.
Yeah, that would be kind of like how it makes me think of how Gitcoin grants works. Like obviously those grants are like individual projects that are kind of checking on the quality of work that they're receiving before they like pay out. And so in a similar way, you have like representatives of like the DAO who act as the individuals who are reviewing the integrations, partnerships to kind of confirm whether or not they pass. But then that also requires, either appointing people to, who are willing to take up that responsibility, or hiring more people for that, which I don't know. I mean, potentially appointing people who are already in the DAO who would be incentivized to that would probably be the better approach, and that would work. So just depends on how many people you'll end up needing and how you scale with this, and how many people are going to end up building you doing this.
Yep, that's true. All right, and any other comments, thoughts? Anyone interested in doing this type of thing?
Interested?
I mainly posted this because I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to have help doing this. What was that, Mark?
I'd be interested.
Very cool. Great.
Pips, I'd be interested too, Eric.
Awesome. All right. That'd be great.
Maybe an idea, like we do something similar in the DAO that I'm participating with. And like what we try to do is also be able to share like those margins amongst a group of people, sort of to align efforts, because yeah, like try to think of how we could set those incentives so that it could not be like individualized in a sense where it turns into competition, right? So just to have that in mind, like how could we present that in a way that it's always positive collaboration?
Yeah, so just to give some background, because I'm more familiar with what Deorg does. So they get paid by clients, and then a percentage of the payment they distribute to all the other members of the DAO. I don't know how this would work in this instance. Like, I mean, we could probably think about that, but maybe all the Rarible recruiters share in that pool, as opposed to all the Rari token holders or the DAO. that could be interesting.
Yeah, something similar comes to mind, and like also, like we're not all like multi-skilled in all our different like trades. So some people might be very good at closing deals. Some people might be very good at, you know, like
Right.
keeping the accounting of those projects, like knowing who's the stakeholder and so on. So like that really helps out to align teams that or like squads of people that just take this new project that we really want on board and align everything that we have with them also to get that partnership going, because it brings, I don't know, more value to the protocol. So like kind of doing more strategic approaches and like to list those protocols that we want to get onboarded could really help out to have this just push more and more the ecosystem towards what we want to like build.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, cool. Anyone else? Any other updates? We have 10 minutes left. We could just have an open floor. Anyone has any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, or whatever? You saw something cool on the internet, feel free. Anyone can just unmute themselves. Updates? No updates. All right, well, I guess we can just wrap up. You know, we can end a bit early, and you guys have 8 minutes of free time to do whatever you want. Cool, guys. Thanks everyone for the call. Always really nice to connect with you guys. Yeah, hopefully maybe next week we can do more of those like small group discussions and do some fun activities or something like that, because I think those were fun. But yeah, thanks everyone. Love the updates, and we'll see you guys later.
See you.
Ciao. Guys.
Bye.
You.